What's the difference between lust and love? We get them confused. What are your turn-ons? What are your turn-offs? Do you know what really gets you hot under the collar, baby? Are you always dating the person that frankly sucks in bed? Are you and your mate not mating anymore? Do you even know what turns you on? I have that answer. With a date of birth, I can tell you anything. We call it Secrets of Birthdays, the Love and Lust Report. Find out your birthday secrets today, available online at secretsofbirthdays.com.
Soul Garden.
Namaste and welcome to Soul Horoscopes Orbits Edition. From my webcam to yours, I'm Christopher Rayman Witecki, your astrologer and soul biographer, here to help you put the pieces of your karmic story together. And I have a really happy announcement this week introducing Zen Shoemaker. She's got her own show called Dear Zen that airs on SG YouTube on Thursdays and on the Mothership. You can write her for practical advice at dearzen@soulgarden.tv. She's funny, she's wise, and she's a psychic coach. You can also be on her show if you want on Fridays at 6 p.m. Eastern, but check her out at the Mothership and check her out at soulmart.me. We love Zen. She's fabulous. Now, moving into the sun, we're wrapping up the sun in Libra. We're going to go from step 27 to step 29 this week, and then we dive fast into Scorpio with our first breakdown by Sunday. It's going to affect emotional relationships and boundaries, and we have a quantum shift coming on November 3rd. More on that later. The moon begins this week in stable Taurus, then shifts into jumpy Gemini, and then it has a little turbulence as it moves into Cancer because we hop over Black Lilith and Jupiter, but we do end the week in lovely Leo. The moon signs most affected are Taurus moons, Gemini moons, Cancer moons, and Leo moons, and the moons that might go into the dark side are Scorpios, Sag moons, Capricorns, and Aquarius moons. Now, looking at our orbits, man. The moon was in the root chakra, remember, in Aries for that big full moon, and this week it moves through the solar plexus all the way up to the heart. So a lot of digestion issues for a lot of people on Earth. The other planet I want to point out is the Earth itself, which is in the root chakra. Now the Earth is what we are manifesting now. So we've been manifesting a new ego as the sun's been in Libra. But as the sun moves into Scorpio, we'll be manifesting manifestation. That's because the Earth will move to its home chakra, the orange chakra, and that means manifestation will be at a pure point. So the point is we actually manifest more when the sun's in Scorpio than we do when the sun is in Taurus for that reason. Now looking at the planets, the aspect that most affects us, I think, is this opposition. This is literally ego versus God, and it's an intense transit this week. This might be kind of looked at as the angel on one shoulder and the devil on the other. Literally, we are tug and pull between the needs of our ego, which is where we're most disconnected, and Neptune, which is where we can be most disconnected or connected. Neptune's just like a modem that logs into anything. So in your horoscopes, I'll be talking about how that opposition affects you. Plus, this square between Pluto and Uranus has reached a massive head. Both planets are at 9 degrees. 9 is an aggressive degree. After all, it's trying to get to 10, right? And this is a fear coming up in your life, probably a long-running fear, and I'll be talking about this fear as well upstairs in your horoscope. And getting a closer look at some planets. Like I said, the moon this week, when it zips through jumpy Gemini, then moves into Cancer and will, boom, bounce off of Black Lilith and Jupiter. That's going to be an emotional kind of moment, if you say, and we'll talk about that on your horoscope as well. So let's get right to it. Let's take the ascension elevator up. Let's go to the 33rd floor at 33,000 feet and get a bird's eye view of you.
Folks, this is your captain speaking. We realize you have a choice in the astrologers you choose to fly with, and we'd just like to thank you for flying with Christopher Witecki.
Hello, magicians and Pisces risings, and welcome to 32,000 feet for a bird's eye view of you. And it is a powerful moment indeed. The Pisces are about to regenerate themselves. You've been working on trust and intimacy issues all month long, and you've been trying to change yourself, but now you've really got that moment to step through the magic wormhole, so to speak, and download the new Pisces from your higher consciousness. It is really about getting comfortable with the transformation and about being flexible with your own boundaries. On the other side of that, though, of course, we've had Uranus, where your ego is trying to make money or trying to still stay valuable, so it's hard to hold integrity together when you're changing the walls and moving the doors, right? Now, the opposition I talked about in the horoscopes, Mars moving into Virgo, you're going to get very self-centered for a while, and you should, because you need to focus on your own mirage and the way you are with yourself. You're also going to get very centric around relationships, marriages, and partnerships. This will be the way it is for about 6 weeks. The opposition will be your own ego and remaining self-compassionate, keeping your own ego tamed, keeping your own self soft and nice to you in order for you to be able to do and pull off what you want in your long-term relationships. Now, looking at the square between Uranus and Pluto, this is fear coming up between making money and being who you want to be in the world, and you're going to have to work through that. On the one side, you have to change the way you make money, and you have to change the way you look at yourself as far as why you're valuable or not valuable. That definition is changing. There's no question. But now it's really about how does it get in the way of social life? Well, truthfully, you have no idea who you'll end up in society. It is the blank check that you have to sign, and that is true for everyone wherever their Pluto is. When it comes to self-esteem and money and manifestation of abundance, indeed, you're going to have to just keep going at it. There's no way around it. Now, looking at the week, we're stepping into the final chapter of the Sun, which is Alchemy. And this is the ability to step into your power, to turn lead into gold by changing your boundaries, by changing your definition, by changing what you open up and don't open up to your shape changes, okay? And so the Sun will move from taking action of that change to sliding into university at the end. And that's where you're going next is belief structure, a deep, serious, profound change of beliefs. The truth is whether you pull off the change or not pull off the change, your beliefs will be affected. You're either can't believe it or you won't believe it or you do believe it. But for you, it'll still change. So with Saturn, this is the spectrum of belief. You're going to have a quantum belief structure change, says Saturn at step 13. That means there's a breakdown. Reality will not be what you thought it was at some point. And at that point, Mercury goes retrograde starting on Monday. So universe kind of blows your mind and then pulls out backwards, and it will remain retrograde until 11/11. So you're going to be reconsidering what you really believe for a good 3 solid weeks. And this is somewhere and or part of a quantum breakthrough about belief. And there's a solar eclipse in this transit too. We'll talk more about that later. In the state of Cancer, right? This is where you are pursuing your personal dreams. It's now time to step into the master shui, which means your passion will lead you. Logic, no. Parents, no. Passion, yes. Now, there's a fear because of the past that your heart will be let down. And Black Lilith at step 14 says you have to pursue forward with your chest out, confident that you will not get hurt again. And that is what's necessary to make the spell to pull it off. So this is the state of Cancer for the Pisces. Now, looking at this week, when it comes to inner child, again, you're stepping into the passion. When it comes to belief structure, you're going to have a quantum breakthrough and you're going to rethink it. When it comes to money, you're going to hold space and don't retrograde too far back and lower your prices, but be very flexible with how you price yourself and how you innovate your ability to be valuable. Neptune in your sign says be self-compassionate to you, and Pluto is the part that told me you don't know who you are in the world yet. We don't know who you are in the world yet. The truth is the world may not have invented the position you're going to take yet. So Pluto says move forward with what you know when it comes to friends, neighborhoods, social life, etc. Now, starting on Sunday, the moon is in Taurus, and so you are hyperpensive, very thoughtful. This is a good day to communicate on Sunday. Mars rules the day, and really what you're doing is you're stepping forward with this new self-trust. So you're kind of lighting the fuse on the transformation, stepping into, okay, let's alchemize myself. Let's make this lead into gold. And the moon in Taurus makes you pensive, thoughtful, etc. On Monday, Mercury will, in fact, retrograde. So it's kind of like as soon as you kind of are clear and you're starting to move forward, the universe pulls the rug out. This is you thinking differently about really next month's topic, right? Which is the belief structure of the university and that sort of thing. But Mercury retrograde does indicate that your mind will be blown within the next 36 hours or so. Something is going to be wholly shift. Now remember, the transit is trust and trusting yourself. So I think it's a real interesting trust of faith where you have to continue to trust yourself even if your beliefs or mind gets blown. And that shows you how states of awareness operate as separate states. You have the state of I protect, the part of you that trusts and how you protect yourself. and you have the state of I believe. And you may have your mind blown and still have to trust that everything's going to be okay, even though you have no clue or where. This would be like seeing a UFO, right? It's like, I have to trust that I'm not that I'm not crazy, but at the same time, I have to believe that this is something I've never seen before. That's kind of how I would expect some sort of a paradigm like that. It's Tuesday that's tough, though, because the moon is in Gemini, so it's making, communication run a buzz, right? As far as people and he said and she said, and Mercury is retrograde, so we're probably getting secrets coming out, and we're starting to get, the non-fun stuff of it. For you, though, Gemini is emotion and self-nurturing, so it's very possible that you could, don't let that Gemini take you wrong. Don't take yourself down the wrong emotional path. And with the universe rocking your boat with the moon in Gemini, this is not a time to stop trusting yourself. So again, a lot of really powerful tests of faith and trust. Wednesday we go down the rabbit hole, and the moon is still in Gemini, so you'll probably sleep in and chill out. But the sun moving into Scorpio does mean that we're officially complete with trust and intimacy and on to university for the Pisces and Pisces rising. And that's what it is. Time to learn, time to figure out what are your self-limiting beliefs, where do you want to go to school, where's the adventure, and most importantly, where does it look like your life purpose is heading, which is what your heart believes is most important. So you begin that transition on Wednesday at 0 degree. Then on Thursday, you're really starting to feel where you are when it comes to life purpose and belief. Now on Thursday, the moon moves into Cancer, so emotions get filled with inner child joy. I think Thursday will be totally fun, and the pink heart is deserved for you. But I think on Friday, there might be an inner child breakdown or letdown, which is tied likely to something you believed. So it's highly likely that something you believed in will not, in fact, be something your heart really is true. And that letdown is the showers I'm predicting potentially on Friday as the moon crosses Black Lilith and Jupiter in the house of inner child for Pisces and Pisces rising. So Friday could be a bit of a breakdown and a heartbreak. Saturday, though, things get jolly again. So in a Pisces fish swimming both ways, this weekend's karma will suit you because you're going to turn around the opposite direction on Saturday and suddenly feel joyful. And the moon will be in Cancer, still in the house of inner child for most of the day. By the end of Sunday, though, if you've been burning the candle at both ends, you might find that you're really tired because it's a hyper-aware transit. And I want to give you a sneak peek at next week. Sunday, see the lightning bolt? Sunday is actually the big breakdown. So whatever you're doing the night before, it might be a Halloween party. A lot of people do Halloween a little early, but the night before, be careful because Sunday does look like breakdown. Monday also some showers, some emotional showers. So we've got some lessons to learn, and the lessons are where your ignorances were and what you didn't know, right? So now I'm going to give you a prayer shoot and invite you to prayer shoot down. We've got a Mercury retrograde sale going on at Soulmart, and I've got a serious joy toy for you at the bottom in Witecki Theater. So I'll see you in just a few seconds.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. Please put on your prayer shoot and prepare for jump.
It's Mercury retrograde. That means it's time for our Soulmart.me Mercury retrograde sale. Like a 1-hour reading with Christopher Witecki, normally $159, retrogrades back to $95.10. Or try a 15-minute psychic look reading with Zen Shoemaker. She retrogrades down to $45 for a 15-minute reading. Or try the Act 3 Orbits Report. And the Jupiter Gets Emotional retrogrades the same to 11/11. At Soulmart.me, mind, body, and soul improvement. Hello Pisces and Pisces risings, the magicians, and welcome now to Witecki Theater. You like it? For your serious joy toy. And I don't know if you've been playing along, but this is a little toy I give you to play with in your head, something imaginary so that you can kind of play through the lesson of the month. And I had been talking about protection and putting up walls and said for your inner child, because that's what we protect, the king or queen, to assign a bodyguard. So as you walk through your life, to look at where you needed protection and to be aware of that. This week, though, it's going to be a little bit more radical. To follow through, it's time to own it, Pisces. I want you to be the butterfly and fly. Fly. I have this song in my head. I cannot sing it, but you know what I'm thinking of, right? But it's kind of how I feel. It's like, it's time for you just to fly. It's time for you to go for it. It's time for you not to look back. Flap your wings. Go for it. Change yourself. Run. Do not stop. Do not collect $200. Get to Scorpio by Wednesday. All right? Fly, butterfly, fly. All right, that's all I have for this week. I love you. Check me out in the retrograde sale if you want to always have a reading with me. This is a great price. If not, I will see you in 7 days with more. Until then, live, love, be. The gift, right? So it's like, even if it's something ugly, it's like, oh, thank you, thanks. We did all the pictures for them. It's on their Facebook in 30 seconds. People are already posting and responding to you on your hip. Oh, shit!